just like that, we're back.
Woohoo!
He's happy. He's not crying on my shoulder here right now.
I don't want to say I'm all that happy.
I've gotten to know you pretty well. When you, I have a pretty good idea. Although I have to say,
I'm not unhappy.
You have a face for the camera. You guys were up on the Jumbotron there. Everybody's
doing our thing.
Doing your thing. Still here at the Progressive Auto Sales Arena. 1-1, tied up just here, like in the last couple of minutes, I guess, of this second period. And someone we've been talking about pushing through, Adam Ruzicka got that goal.
Right place, right time.
Yeah.
It was beautiful. You know, I think, you know, again, I mean, our shot clock is not telling the story. I mean, we're 30 shots on goal to 15, or what is that? 50, 30 to 50.
Yeah, we're double.
We're double them, but you know, they're not a lot of quality shots. I mean, how many have we heard smack off the boards? They're firing them wide, and that's a challenge. So
there's been a lot of wide shots. You know, the other thing I want to jump in here because it's been one of those games too where, like, the Sioux's definitely getting in the way, but you see them falling in behind the net kind of thing. And there's that. Am I keeping you up?
I don't know what it is. All of a sudden, I'm just.
No, but I was going to say, you know, when they fall in behind the net there, and this thing has to keep readjusting, and a convenient fall, I guess.
And maybe. I think the other thing is, I mean, I want to talk about something I lovingly call stick hooliganism. There's an awful lot of that. These are the kind of games where you got a fast pace going on, and everybody's got their stick in everything, right? Like it's this. And it makes it really hard to keep something on your stick long enough to get a shot. I mean, I understand the concept, but both teams are really, you know, there's not a lot of control on the puck right now.
I would have to agree with that.
Because of the stick hooliganism, I'll call it.
Stick hooliganism, yeah,
yes.
For sure. Well, it's certainly an aggressive game, as it typically is with
good
the
pace.
Sioux.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good pace. You know, we've seen both guys in the box at the same time a few times. And
the referees are not making a huge difference in this game, that's what I like. That's where a referee should be, right? Is in that, you know, it's a nice level. There's not, you know, they're not calling too many things. They're not calling too few things. They're not unbalanced. It's just kind of right down the middle. The game is determining the game right now, not the refs.
As aggressive.
That's the way it should be.
Yeah. Okay. As aggressive as this game is tonight, too. I think something we forget to say about the referees is it's their job to keep things safe out there.
Well, 100%,
you know,
100%.
And they're definitely doing that tonight too, because they know what's coming when these two teams get on the ice.
Absolutely, and I mean, watch for the third period because, you know, right now nobody wants to take a silly penalty, but on the other hand, this is a fairly aggressive game right now. You know, the run wrong call, the run bad thing happened, and the tide could turn on this game in a hurry. So, you know, we got to try to avoid the penalty box as much as we can, and see how that goes.
And I think, you know, maybe this is a time where the Sioux Greyhounds come out and go, okay, we really got to try to get under their skin, which can happen, and the Sting hopefully are having that conversation of, let's not let them get under our skin. I mean, this is crucial time right now. You're 1-1. We're twice the amount of shots. So what needs to be adjusted here?
Well, and I think the thing is we got to solve the goalie. You know, I mean, not to put too fine a point on it, but Vilatla's. I mean, this is one of the top goalies in the league, and I think he.
No doubt about it.
He's strong on both sides of the net. He's very alert and attentive. You know, he's going to get there on most of the shots. And, you know, I mean, he's faced already 30 shots in 2 periods. You know, and he's only let one in. This guy's doing the job, right?
He's dancing.
But, you know, arguably, again, I'll go back to those 30 shots. I don't think more than about 10 of them are probably quality shots. I think what they're going to need to do to solve Vilatla is they're going to have to count on that second bounce. They're going to have to put more pucks on the net and have somebody there for those rebounds. Well, that's what happened on the
we've seen that
Ruzicka goal, and I think, you know, and he's good at that. Like, he's good at putting himself in that position, and at the puck, if we get it in the right bounce,
and
I
would have to say, I think we see them trying that, because there's been a lot of shots tonight where it's going, you know, at him and comes back out, and there's just not quite nobody home, you know, and they've got to make that adjustment. I agree. I saw a lot of that here tonight.
Well, you know, and I think that the thing that you know, the other story that we have to be careful of right now is, you know, we've had more than our fair share of odd man rushes in this case, and we haven't managed to produce anything. We've had a 3-on-1, and it went nowhere. I mean, you can't have that happen.
No,
you can't be 3-on-1 and not
we've got to take advantage of those situations.
We have to take advantage of those opportunities, and we've had a lot of them.
Yeah. All right. Well, hopefully they're hearing you down in the locker room.
Yeah, listen to me.
You want me to take you down there? Let's go.
Hang on a minute. We'll be right there.
You'd be amazed at how many of them are watching.
Yeah, well,
after.
That would be awesome.
No, I think
we're talking to you.
It's out of control, folks. No, you make a lot of really good points there for sure, and I think
thank you.
And it's very obvious. I mean, tonight to see
100%.
those open spots that we're not covering, and then or we're just not quite quick enough to get there. I think they know where they are. They're looking and they're going, I know I should have been there. Maybe I'm not quick enough, or maybe
this will
I'm
be
not
one of those
thinking
game
fast
tapes
enough.
that they're going to review, and then, you know, I fully expect them to get better. You know, this is still a good game. It's an aggressive game. There's a lot of pushing and shoving, a lot of stick handling, a lot of everything, right? But, you know, I think really it's just a matter of tightening some things up and finding a few more of those advantages. We're going to have to do that.
Well, let's continue the conversation now with, originally I thought Aiden Hughes was starting. That was my error. So we got Ethan Langevin in there. Of course, first time we're seeing him in here. What are you seeing there?
Well, I'm happy. I mean, he's playing well. One of the things we talked about with Hughes was that, you know, he seemed to be a little, you know, lax when the puck wasn't like immediately in his vicinity, but, you know, still inside the zone. And I think the one thing is you can see Ethan Langevin's very attentive to where the puck is. So I think he's, you know, I like that. He's ready when it comes. And he's made a couple of great stops. So I think lots of promise. He's still a young guy. So we got, you know, if he can get used to the pace of an OHL game against a team like the Sioux early, I think we'll see a bunch more of him in the near future.
Well, and I have to say I was, and I don't know why, I was a little surprised to see him
I'm not.
there.
I think, you know what, I think right now, I think probably the coaching staff are sitting there and they're really trying to assess, you know, who's our go-to guy. And I don't know that that's clear yet. You know, Hughes needs to get on his game a bit more. You know, some of the other younger guys maybe got something to prove a little bit. You know, so I think what they're going to do, we're probably likely to see Coffin coming up and playing. I think that we'll see a fair rotation of those three guys until someone starts to stand out for a little bit for us, you know, because we're going to need some really strong goaltending if we want to go deep. Again, that's just all the way there. That's all there is to it.
Yeah. Well, you make again that point of we're kind of just figuring things out at the moment, you know, and that's the coaching staff is spending that time. You say it's early in the season, early in the games, to go. Okay, this is exactly what we're going to do.
Yeah.
And
and you know, you would never want to do that. People figure you out,
well,
and all of a sudden
right.
you're stuck for the game. So you know, it's going to be transitional, but you got to find. It's going to be about skills. It's going to be about finding who's got the skills to play in certain situations, and then let's take advantage of that, right?
Yeah.
So I think still a lot of assessment going on right now.
Perfect. How's the atmosphere down where you are? I mean, I know you've been a lot of friends that sit around you there. You get to know a lot of people around there. What's the ambiance?
Well, I think it's good. I think it's just still very positive. I mean, you know, in my section, 108, hey guys. You know, we talk a lot, and we've got a lot of connections with the team and back in the background, and so we hear lots of things. You know, lots of billet families and coaching friends and players and stuff. So we hear the little bits and pieces of things, but I think, you know, the one thing, I was talking with my friend Sue, and she got a chance to meet with Kelton Hatcher and a few of the other guys when they were picking up their tickets, and she said, you know, the one thing she walked away with was that it really is very much a team kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
They're really playing well together as a team, and that you know, they're bonding well, right? And you know, there's no superstar, so they got each other's backs, and I think, you know, that's one of the things I love about this season, is I think that's going to get us deep.
Yeah, well, it's important to have relationships off the ice too, right?
Yeah,
you know,
100%.
Try to create that synergy amongst each other, like you say, the got your back thing.
But there's also, you know, some trepidation right now because, you know, I don't think we're at the mix that we want just yet, and so, you know, all of that always means there's a potential for some trades. You know, if you don't have all the pieces in your puzzle just yet, you know, we might need to find some things. You know, there's probably a few trade talks in the works. You know, there is some rumors on the air. Not that I want to share that at the moment, but, you know, I think there is some stuff. I think we can look to see some changes, you know, in the near future. We'll see what happens.
Yeah,
hopefully for the better.
I agree.
Yeah.
There's always things coming, right? I mean, you know, there's
100%.
And there's always those conversations back in the locker rooms around or whatever, and yeah, I mean, things happen all throughout the year. I mean, and then injuries are another thing.
Well, that's another thing.
Could just be a key factor, right?
And they have been a real problem for us in past years. So, you know, we're going to want to keep our guys strong for sure.
Yeah. All right. Well, it is tied 1-1 right now, as we said. Going to be an interesting third period for sure.
I think
big
so.
adjustments
I think that's fair to
in
say.
both locker rooms going
Yes.
on right there.
Yep.
My prediction, I think we're going to see a little more aggression from the Sting in this period. I think it's needed.
Yeah.
You know, but like you say, it's but also focus on those empty holes.
Yeah, and I think you know, as much as I hated I don't want to say it, but I think our power play needs some work again.
All right.
You know, so that's something we're going to have to solve too.
All right. Well, the bells are ringing. They're back out on the ice here. Again, 1-1 here at the Progressive Auto Sales Arena. And we thank all of you for watching. We're likely going to be live post-game once again. Not sure who we'll be talking to, but maybe we'll get to talk to Adam Ruzicka. You know,
nice. That'd be
that's
good.
Cool. All right. All right. Thanks, everybody, for watching. We'll see you post-game one more time. And thanks to my son, Jason, for abandoning us tonight. We're going to have a talk with the boy,
yes,
I think.
Yes, we will.
I don't know, whatever. All right. Everybody, thanks so much for watching. Once again, I'm David Burrows for the show live on location with the Video Show Network and my friend, Jay Peckham.
Go Sting, go!